I have to
Right.
start off by saying that your band, Paradise Circus, is, I mean, everyone talks about them at the moment. Okay. So obviously you have a new single out, but overall, how are you feeling at the moment in your career?
I think we're feeling really excited, especially from the new single Icarus. It's made some noise in the scene, especially we've managed to get into the new Nottingham scene, which is quite nice actually, because from uh, from the from January 2025, Christian and Josh joined the band, who play drums and bass, and they're from Nottingham, so they have actually like brought me and Cal and gone, look, come here. There's a better scene, or there's a really good scene around in Nottingham, and we've gone there and had a look, and it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, you're just so excited to get on it again and be so busy with music and writing it and stuff like that. And for me, I'm most excited about releasing new music as well because we haven't done that in so long.
So, I mean, is it hard to get into the Nottingham scene? Is it kind of limited or open to everyone?
I don't think it's hard to get into. Like, if you just make a lot of noise, like I said, um, they're so like inviting and stuff like that. And if you make good music and you tell people to come along, and in the Nottingham scene it's really cool because everyone knows each other, and they're like, oh yeah, you do this, yeah, I'm free, I'll come along, because they love music. It's just like one of those things, um where a lot of little towns, and they struggle to retain that, is the love for the music and the live scene, as I guess. So, it's one of those things. Nottingham quite love like it. It's like the Manchester scene and the Liverpool scene that, if you say, "Oh, I'm playing live," they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go."
But you're from Birmingham, right?
We are from, yeah. So me and Cal stem from Birmingham,
So how's the
and
scene there?
we started in Birmingham just before COVID hit. So at the back end of 2019, we had our first ever show. And when we booked our first ever show, we were like, okay, well, I think we're ready for this first gig. It was at the Victoria in Birmingham. And the promoter came up to us and was like, yep, you're headlining. And we were like, wait, what? We're like the headliners? And then we didn't know what to do because we were like, we've never played live before. But it was like just at the back end of the B Town scene, which was like 2013 to 2019. Or like 20, yeah, it's like 2013 to 2018, that era, where you had bands like Jaws coming through, and then like Peace, and bands like that. So it was really cool to see, and then we decided to do something. So
What about the new song? So, I mean, the name kind of, I mean, you tell me, what does the name mean? Is it like kind of connected to Greek mythology or anything like that?
it's not Greek mythology, no. So me and Callum went to university at Academy of Contemporary Music, and we the building that we were in, which is really small, like there was not many people in this uni because it was a tiny uni. It was only about 11 people in each class, and there's only like three classes. Um, just outside of ACM, it was just by Snow Hill Station, so it was under the arches. And on the road was the expressway, and that expressway led to Paradise Circus. And it's all on the signs, and I was like, well, that's it. I'm taking that, and I googled it, and there was no band in the world apart from a cover band called Paradise Circus, and they're from Mumbai. So
Mhm.
shout out to Paradise Circus in Mumbai.
But what about Icarus, that song?
Icarus is quite special to us, especially to Josh and Christian. I'd say Icarus is quite emotional for Josh because Josh is a bit older than us, and he used to be in a band called Hyena. He once played in this band called Hyena. They did really well, and they were part of the B Town scene as well. Um, they got up to a quite a good level where they were just about to be signed to a major, um, and then it all flopped. So um, he kind of took a break from music for a few years, and he kind of missed that. And now he's in Paradise Circus. The one thing he wanted to do was to release music and start writing again, and I think that's what he enjoyed the most, was just sitting down with us and, you know, having that time where he could release some energy that he hadn't been able to do before. And Icarus was one of those tracks where it was the big relaunch, and he loved it. I can't, yeah, we
So
all did.
how is this band in a way different from, like, let's say, I mean, even from your experience, I mean, have you been in previous bands? If so, how is this band more, I don't know, maybe special or different?
Um, the I think the energy between the four of us is different. We have this like melancholy and like chemistry, which doesn't. I've never really looked at another band and gone, well, that they have that too. A lot of bands are like, they go down a route where they really want to be like that, and it's kind of like manufactured, and we want to sound like that, and we're going to sound like that. I think with Paradise Circus, we kind of get together as a group of friends. We are the most like different personality. You couldn't get any different from all of us. Me and Callum are so different with our personal lives, and Josh and Christian are. Christian's 18, he's doing his A levels, just finished his A levels. Josh is already, he's got a job and stuff like that. We couldn't be as far from each other as possible, but we just gel together so well. It's so mad. Um, and I guess we just take it as it comes. We write music how we feel. We don't walk into the studio and go, oh, we want to write a song like which sounds like this or something like that. We sit down and we write a song, and we go on feel, which is the best thing I think a band can do.
And you mentioned that there's like a melancholic kind of connection or, atmosphere that, that you kind of have as a band. So how important is that aspect to translate in your own music? Or is that not an important kind of element in
I
your
think
art?
it I think it's really important because don't you can relax when you're connected as friends, and I think we can say we're brothers. Like we're kind of it felt in the past few weeks, especially like we're part of we're like a family now. It's like a thing we've got to carry through, and we know we've got a job to do, and we love it and stuff like that. And when you have that connection between each member, the music comes out better because we all know how each other act. And I might come into the group chat with an idea, and I know it's not good if they don't respond, or if I send an idea into the chat, or if I send an idea to one of the members, or like I've got this, I don't know how to go forward with it, and I'm lost, or I have an idea on the piano or something, and they'll respond and they'll be like, yeah, this is wicked, this is really cool, there's loads of things that we can do with this. When you're like as tight as friends as that, the music flows better.
And you also, I mean, obviously you said that you don't write music with the idea to sound like somebody else, but you must have some sort of influence. So what kind of artists have inspired you?
There's a few because we're such different personalities, and each member's got their own influence. Um, Callum grew up on like the chilies, like chili peppers, sort of like the grungier type, that like the harder rock sort of stuff, and Ozzy Osbourne and that sort of older era. As he's from Dudley, Ozzy is from that Birmingham region, you know. And then I grew up on a lot of like Coldplay and Keane and Kaiser Chiefs and like the '90s and then the noughties era, sort of going into 2010s. And then Josh, uh, he's like grungier. Because he's a bit older. He was like '90s baby, sort of Nirvana and grungier type shoegazy sort of thing. So he loves that sort of grunge. He's the person that I want on this interview because I know you like grunge and stuff like that. And Christian, he's a massive Bring Me the Horizon fan. So and like he went to see Korn as well live this year. He
Mm.
also saw Sleep Token. I know they're going round at the moment. So and he likes them. So actually, Christian and Josh are the heavier, and Callum. Callum just came back from download. Actually, he said Green Day were really good.
But yeah. Um, and what about, I mean, you have like a kind of musical education, but there are some artists like, let's say, Dave Grohl, who said that, you know, that can limit him in a way. He doesn't need to know, the name of the chords whatsoever. So for you, is it important to get that kind of musical, um, I don't know, sophistication or education?
You don't need to read music to write music. I think that's a philosophy that I take on board quite a lot. Um, and you, it's the if you have a good ear, you don't need to be able to read a score on a piece of paper to be able to say that you can do music. Anybody can do music. I think we've all got a musical bone in our body. There's nobody out there who does not. We all live for music. Uh, it's such a special thing, I think, for human anyway, for like human nature. But yeah, like I said, you don't need to read music to write music. I was brought up on the piano to read music, which I was lucky for. But with guitar, I only had a 5 minute lesson when I was 9 years old, and then I was able to just learn it off YouTube. So
And how important do you think is underground or indie music?
I think it's really important, especially with like grassroots music venues. It's a struggle at the moment because there is a lot of news going around where they're shutting down a lot. Um, like the lead mill in Sheffield's just closed, which is sad for that city because I know the lead mill. We've had friends who have played at the lead mill and toured through there. It's like one of the main venues for Sheffield, I guess, and they've had to shut down. There's been problems with venues in Birmingham who've been told to close because of their business aspects, and there's been fights to keep them open. And I think in like grassroots indie music is, any venue you walk into, you'll hear a live band who are playing just like nice, like easy listening indie music, I guess.
And I mean, do you feel pressure to kind of fit a certain mold or identity when you want to? I mean, I don't know if you want to kind of, I mean, get commercial, like, I mean, mainstream success, if that's the goal, but do you find that there's pressure?
I don't want to say there's a lot of pressure to become commercial. I don't know. We want to become commercial, but the music doesn't have to change that much. I don't think. We're becoming more commercial, I guess, but there's no limits to music. It's like Jacob Collier says, like you can add any chord into any song and it won't affect it, or but it's all on the ear, I guess. And Icarus has it's done us quite, it's a more commercial rock song than our others, I guess.
And when you're performing on stage, do you feel like you're putting on like a persona or kind of being like a rock star, let's say, something that, maybe contrasts to in real life.
Um, yeah, I think our band relies more on energy than like professional moves. Like I can't dance like Justin Timberlake, or I can't sing like Beyonce. Uh, I think we rely a lot on energy to get the crowd going. I think, and I think that we like that though. You know, our songs. It's mad, still mad to me that people sing the songs back and like, oh, this song really helped me and stuff like that. Um, but I all we do is just try our best and move a lot on stage and try and connect with the people at the front and connect with everyone in the room. I think in venues, we before we go on, we always say to each other like, perform like we're playing in front of 90,000 instead of 300.
Any pre-gig ritual that you do as a group?
Yeah, we do actually. Like we do get together. Uh, we get in a little huddle, I guess, and we all put our hands in the middle. And we we thank each other and like thank like we're lucky to do it, and not a lot of people have the opportunity to do this and stuff like that, and just thankful that we're doing it, and let's do it well, and let's come off the stage like we've really enjoyed it and stuff.
So you also kind of write together. It's not just like a kind of one person, one songwriter situation. Because I mean, you mentioned that you send like you share your ideas in a group chat, but when it comes to actually kind of making the song, do you come together as well?
Yeah, our songwriting process is quite collaborative between the four of us, and our produce. We have a couple of pre-produced producers that help us out as well, that are in the room at the time that we're doing it. The main stems of the song will come from me. That then I pass on the idea, and then the idea will come. Josh might say, or Callum might say, "Oh, I like that bit. Can we add that?" Actually, Icarus. No, not Icarus. Our next song after, which is next, called I think it's called. We're going to be naming it Nevermind, which is a bit hit and miss. I don't know if we're going to name it that or not. But I sent a load of voice notes into the group chat, and it was like, I'm telling you, 30, 40 voice notes of just random ideas I had on my phone. And then Josh picked three out and said, "Look, put these together and then we'll see where it goes." And then I did. And then we wrote the song over WhatsApp video call like this. And I think it's going to be good. It's one of our best ones that we've written. So,
And I mean, is that the song that you think you're going to be the most proud of?
um, yeah, I think Icarus was one of the ones where we were really excited about because it was the relaunch single after Nathan and Pete had left the band in October last year. We had a few months where me and Cal were like, "Well, what do we do now?" And then Josh came along and Christian came along, and they were like, "We really want to do this with you." So it was a really fun time to release Icarus. But now we've got together and gelled with each other for like a year. The connection between us has got so good that we've been writing loads of tunes, and now we've got such a catalogue that we can pick. Um, yeah, so we've got a selection.
Which band would you want to tour with? Dream collab.
I don't know. I think for me personally, it would be like Coldplay or U2. I think U2 are getting Bono's getting a bit old now,
Mm.
but they still did the Las Vegas Sphere, which was extraordinary. They did like 17 nights there or something. Um, but I think Chris Martin is one of my biggest influences. His energy is unreal, and I grew up with it all. So that's probably it at the moment. I think they're the only band at the moment that are doing world tours in stadiums, like 90,000 people and above. They did the Ahmedabad in India. They did like the Modi Stadium, which is like the biggest stadium in the world. They did 2 nights there, which is 100, was it 132,000 a night? It's no one's doing that at the moment, I don't think, apart from Taylor Swift.
Well, talk about
Yes.
Chris Martin, because he kind of, I mean, in one of his shows, made like kind of political, I don't know, not statements, but kind of showed his positions. Would you ever do the same? Would you ever kind of maybe, I don't know, write a political song?
I don't know. Which song are you on about?
No, just not a song, but just kind of like in shows. He supported like, like kind of one side in the current world affairs. So just kind of I'm curious, would you ever kind of write a protest song or anything, make a political statement as a band?
I wouldn't go out there to. I don't know. I wouldn't force myself to do it if I didn't believe in it 100%. But if I had a message to put out there, um, I'd put the message out there. But I don't know how I'd do it. Probably in song. I don't know. Um, I'm not really a political person anyway, so it depends what I was feeling at the time, to be honest. So
Okay. What is your hot take? What is a band or artist that's overrated?
overrated. Oh, I don't want to get controversial here. I don't.
You
I don't. I
have
think I
to. You
like it.
have to.
No, no, no. I don't. Oh, I don't want to say anything. I don't. No, I can't because I think everybody's good and everybody has a good song in their own way. Um, no matter if it's not even if it's not my cup of tea, music's subjective. It's not the end of the world. Like I'm okay with that. They might have a good riff in a song, and I always like that. Even if there's a band that I'm not fussed about, they'll have something in there which is like, oh, okay, that's good. I wish I wrote that, and it makes me annoyed as well. I'm like, oh, I wish I did that. So
How do you feel? I mean, I saw that you have a sold out show in Nottingham.
we had a show in
So,
Nottingham. Yeah.
so it was sold out,
Yes.
if
Yeah,
I'm
we did.
correct.
Yeah, we did
So
that at
how
the
do you feel
Carousel.
about that? Do you feel excited, or do you wanna, or you're still kind of in a way self-critical and you want to do more and more?
Um, we really enjoyed that show. It was so fun to do. It was our first time in Nottingham, really. Uh, actually, we played a couple of support shows in Nottingham, and then we were like, okay, we're ready for a headline. Let's put a headline show on at Carousel. It wasn't too big. It's literally an arts and crafts centre. We put it on sale, and then all of a sudden, 100 tickets went, and we were like, okay, well, let this is the start. We're excited to do more in Nottingham. I guess it was
And
amazing. Yeah.
so this new song, is it going to be a part of kind of bigger album, or are you not kind of planning anything at the moment specific?
I have a trick up my sleeve. um, yes, it is a part of something that we're working on at the moment. Um, Hopefully, we're going to be releasing our debut EP either this year or the start of next year. We don't really know what's going on with planning wise, but if all goes to plan, I I do hope we can release an EP this year. Um, a lot of people will release an EP and then tour. I think what's going to happen with us is we're going to tour and then release the EP. So, um, so yeah, it's exciting because it's our first ever EP, first ever tour. It's kind of we're early days, and it's taken us long. It's been a graft. I can't knock it. Like we've done really well. A lot of bands tend to, release a couple of tunes and take off. We noticed that it hadn't really happened because we weren't consistent enough with releases and stuff like that. So uh, we've worked really hard to write some tunes quite quickly. So
And I mean, you mentioned that some bands write some songs and then, disappear. What you are, I mean, growing in popularity. So what is specifically about this kind of music, or I mean, maybe kind of themes that you explore that you think that your audience relates to and is attracted to?
so um, so what? How do they relate to it and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I mean, what's again kind of what's special about your music? Um, Is there
Hmm.
maybe a specific theme or a subject that you think that audiences like?
I don't. To be honest, I don't know. Um, I think people like it because of the characters of who we are. Like I said earlier, like our personalities are very different from each other. We come across like we're very different people, but we the fact that we get along so well on camera and off camera, people can see that and they enjoy it. The fact that people like that can get along and stuff. I think that's why people follow us, and the music's getting better. The songwriting is getting much better. I've focused on a lot of lyrics in the past year or so and just like reflected on them and to see where I can go with it and how to improve. I think that's where we're looking. We're always looking to try and get better. Um, like on our in our last era where we had Cascade, Sanguinem, Sunrise, and Out of My Mind was released. Um, we looked at it and we were like, it's good, but we can be bigger and we're better. So, and we sat down and we were really focused on that. And Josh and Christian were like the perfect duo to come and help us with that.
And
I
when
think that's why people like it.
is your next show or
It,
anything, a tour?
we're playing Fuse Festival in Lichfield on at Beacon Park on the 13th of July. Um, on the Elevation stage, I think it's called. So that's exciting for us. And then a week later, a few days later, we're playing What's Happening Digbuff, which is run by our friends. Um, and we're playing Momaroos in Birmingham at the Custard Factory on the 19th of July. So that at 5:30 we're on. So that's good. And then after that, I think it's Why Not. We're playing our biggest festival to date. We've got Why Not Festival in Derbyshire. We're playing on the same day as Madness. Um, Cortinas are playing on the Saturday, I think. That might be the Prodigy. I don't know, but we're playing on the giant squid stage at 3:30 on the Sunday, the 3rd of August.
Amazing. And I know you don't want to answer, you don't want to tell me like an overrated band, but a song that you never ever want to hear again.
Um, Oh, this is going to be controversial. What is it? Sweet Caroline. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't want to
I
sing
get
it
it.
now.
I get it. It's, I mean, not so controversial. I kind of get it. Yeah.
I hate it because they sing it at cricket. I'm a cricket fan, and they always sing it at cricket games, especially in England Test match or something like that. They'll sing "Sweet Caroline," and I'm like, no.
Well, hopefully you will never hear it again, ever again. Thank you so much.